All right, I'm back. Sweet. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I don't know what was happening or why it wasn't working. My fish are running out of water. All right. So I don't know if you guys could see me that whole time. I couldn't see anything. It crashed. So YouTube doesn't like the baby Corys. I apologize for that. For whatever reason, they decided that the Cory fry don't need to be on camera. So it just completely shut it down. Everything went blank. I don't know what was going on, but I'm back. Took me a little bit, but we figured it out. So thank you so much for sticking with me. I know that was a little bit of a hiccup, but like I was saying minutes before this crash, this is my first live stream. I've never done a YouTube live stream. I've never messed with the software. I've never set any of the parameters up. So this was definitely new to me. But happy New Year's Eve, everyone. So in that time, my fish are running out of water. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the siphon, go hook the hose up, and begin to fill this tank back up. Yeah, I saw that. When I was trying to use my phone, it said I just need 1,000 subs to be able to set that up. So maybe this time next year. Took me about 8 months to get 200. So we'll see how it goes. It was April. I started my YouTube channel in April. I have 200 subscribers now, so it's definitely not a quick journey. I wasn't blessed with a viral video. I like to put out boring and scientific content, my nieces like to say. So they said I sound like a science teacher in my videos, which if you knew me personally, that's definitely not my personality. So I'm hoping that the live streams will give you a little bit more insight into who I am versus my kind of scripted, not so much scripted download of information on my videos. So this is the fun part. We've got to clear the hose before we add more water in. Now, if I pass out on camera, it's fine. This is normal. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I have bought a course for $10 from Udemy. Nice. That I had to use Oh, really? Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I've read a few things, and I follow a few YouTubers as well to kind of help grow your channel. But my main thing is I've got a lot of knowledge in the hobby, so I figured if I can get the info out there, I could get it in front of people. Time things will happen. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm in no rush to move things along, I guess. So with my sump, the 75-gallon tank is roughly 90 gallons of water, and I do like to dose for the whole tank, so I do 2 capfuls. And this just ensures that if, my city water is being super chlorinated at any time, that I am making sure to get rid of anything that's extra in there from the norm throughout the year. Watch out, fish. It's like a jacuzzi. Don't get mad at me. You're the one that pooped in there. If you didn't poop in there, I wouldn't have to clean this. Well, I didn't poop in his tank. We'll see. So hopefully this hose stays put. I'm a little anxious about doing a water change in the quarry tank, just because of the breeder net that's in there. So I may do a water change in the quarry tank and just take it just to leave them a little bit in the net, just to give them some fresh water, but I'm not going to do a large water change like I do at Indy's tank. So Ryan just messaged me, said he lost the stream. Are you still watching it, Ben? So we're still in here. That's good. So who is your guys' favorite YouTubers that you watch? I like to watch Corey over at Aquarium Co-op, Mark from Mark Shrimp Tanks, Rob from Flip Aquatics, Jenna Marbles, and Julian. Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. No. I don't think they come here. If you didn't hear Amber, she said she watches Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. I ain't about that life. And my wife is currently laying in the living room coloring penises because I bought her a color book of little tiny penis characters for Christmas. And she couldn't be happier.
You could show them.
I could show them?
They're kind of a toy.
Say, we got you that for Christmas. This is why we can't have nice cakes.
Careful, this kid cardboard behind it.
Oh my gosh. So I got her The Big Adventures of Tiny Dick. This is what she's working on. It's ridiculous.
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 Oh, sorry, Dixie. I punched my dog in the face. You had a rough day. You had a rough day.
Mark's Aquatics. Is that what the name of the channel is? Mark's Aquatics? I'll have to check it out.
Daisy had a rough day. I just punched her in the face.
Daisy will be fine.
Shaky day, and then you get punched in the face and threw up in the bed. Or the doggy.
So we just had one more person join. So if you're just joining us, I just drained Indy's tank. Now we're refilling it back up, just kind of hanging out, talking about YouTubers. So what kind of YouTube you like to watch, whether it's fish tube, DIY stuff, anything. You can learn anything from YouTube. If you want to get into taxidermy, I'm sure there's taxidermy YouTube. I don't know, that's not my thing.
I'm gonna have you taxidermy when you're dead.
You're gonna have me taxidermied. Apparently my wife is gonna have me taxidermied.
You're just gonna stand in the corner.
Can you do like an awesome pose though? It's gotta be like badass. Like, what's up? My name's Kyle. I like fish things. Well, you still have a lot of skin to work with. If they charge by the pound, it's gonna be.
They charge by the pound. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos and do it myself.
Hey, Chad just joined. What's up, Chad? Thanks for joining, man. So any of you guys that can't comment, go make a YouTube channel. That way you could comment, you could join in on the conversation. I don't look like I'm crazy talking to myself on a screen. Well, I'm crazy anyways, but so happy New Year's Eve, everybody. I hope everybody stays safe and has fun.
Please don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Stay home. Do water changes.
Get an Uber.
Get an Uber.
Ride your fish home.
Ride your fish home.
I don't know. Just don't drive.
Don't drive, yes. Skateboard. Probably still going to get in trouble.
Do you know you can get a DUI on a horse?
You can get a DUI on a horse.
Yeah. I knew a kid in high school who got in trouble for riding his horse home after drinking.
Was the horse drunk? Like, I feel like at that point, it's not your responsibility. It's whether or not the horse can just walk normally.
No.
If the horse is stumbling, it's like, oh, sir, you need to go back to the stable. It's not good.
And it was like out in the middle of nowhere. But Canal doesn't really have anything else to do.
When you live in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, apparently it's normal to go drive a horse around while you've been drinking. Drive a horse? Ride a horse?
Ride. Steer.
Why are you
Knockout.
staring at me? So we were coming up with names earlier for our little guy. And some of the names we were throwing around was Ripley, Jack Sparrow.
Here comes the terror.
Albus, Severus. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, go away. So I went to my local pet store this morning to get baby brine shrimp for the baby Corys. And I was talking to the owner there, and she was telling me that once they get a little bit bigger, that she'll be wanting to buy them from me. So I'm excited for that. I've definitely got too many fish as it is. So having somewhere that I can offload these fish, but also bring in some income for more equipment and stuff for the fish that I do take care of it's definitely exciting. I've sold some frog bit in the past, and I've been working on getting some plants growing so that way I can sell those and just bring some money in that's not work related. If I could turn this hobby and this passion of mine into some sustainable income, that'd be awesome. But I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. And, I love creating videos for you guys and being able to hang out with you. Hey, Ryan, how are you, man? Different Ryan.
Oh.
There you go. Now you could join in on the chat with us. Yeah, so I enjoy making content. I'm constantly doing research into different fish stuff and learning as much as I can so that way I can share my knowledge with everybody. I know a lot of you guys that are in here, I've helped along the way as far as like with your Oscars and getting them to be the best fish that they can from just their diets and tank maintenance and different things. It's because with these fish, it's you go to these pet stores, the big stores, Big Al's, PetSmart, Petco, and they don't really have knowledgeable staff. They do to a certain extent, but their main job is to sell you as much as they can without telling you not to do something. So for me to be able to help you out when you go and buy 3 Oscars and put them in a 20-gallon, it makes me feel good that I could help that fish. I could help anybody else in the hobby to learn what they can and to just take care of their fish better. So Ryan says, thanks for all the info you give. Yeah, no problem, man. I talk to Ryan every day, Jaden Gamers. He's got 2 Oscars right now. He just added some silver dollars to his tank. So he's on his way to doing everything he can for his fish. He had 2 Oscars like I do that were kind of fighting a little bit. So he added some silver dollars that's kind of dither fish. And, that way that they're not really focused on each other. They're more focused on and just living in the environment with the other fish because, those silver dollars are going to school together, create this pack. So the Oscars are going to kind of band together to live together instead of fighting. And, if I had something a little bit bigger, I would definitely get more fish in here. But with Rip being just a rescue and this being temporary, it's, this is a minimum tank size for 1 Oscar, let alone 2 Oscars and other fish. So I'm kind of pushing the limits on this. The sump does help with the amount of filtration I have in here. It's, I could probably add 3-4 more fish in here, not Oscars, but other fish, and I would be fine because of my filtration. But the amount of backlash and like conversations I would have to have with people as far as like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't have those fish in that tank. And it's, I know better, but I also know that with my filtration, with how many water changes I do, I could probably add a couple more fish in here and be fine. But to have to defend myself, to have to say something all the time, it's not worth it. I'm not trying to pick fights with people on the internet. I'm not trying to have to do water changes every 3 days. So I can definitely do it, but that's going to be more work with me. And I've got so many other tanks to take care of besides the Oscar tank. I don't need that plus work, plus housework, plus family, plus life, plus dogs. So 23 Aquatics, I have over 500 super red bristlenose. All the shops want to buy them from me. I just buy more tanks instead of selling them. I'll do a video on how to breed and raise them. That's awesome, man. I'd definitely like to see that. So once you get that up and going, I'll check it out.
I just heard that you don't need a bigger tank.
I do need a bigger tank, like a 200-gallon.
I just heard that you're fine with those tanks.
My wife's reading too much into what I'm saying. So Sean Kaiser, thanks, man, for stopping in. Happy New Year to you as well. I hope all your fish goals work out too. Ryan's back, the other Ryan. So ZZ is my buddy Ryan. He lives here in Arizona with me. So Jaden Gamer, which is Ryan, said, and it worked, mellowed the Oscars. So yeah, definitely adding those silver dollars to the tank as deader fish is going to calm the Oscars down. So with him, he's got juveniles, so they're little guys. So he has the space right now to have that many fish in his 75-gallon. But I know over time, as they get bigger, he's definitely going to need to upgrade.
Can't go backtracking on what you said. You don't need a big tank.
Yeah, Ryan, you missed my rant on.
Sean, do not encourage him.
Yes, definitely. I don't know if you heard my wife in the background, Sean, but she yelled at you, said, "Do not encourage him." I've seen those shipping containers too, and they're not priced too bad. I've also looked at the aquaculture tanks. You can get a 300-gallon aquaculture tank for only like $400. Brian just said they're going to be in the 125-gallon. Yeah, I know you had mentioned that you were wanting to upgrade and get something bigger. So, but for now, they're little. You're okay for now, and other people are going to give you crap about it. That's just how it is. You heard the end of it? Yeah. Basically, I was saying that with my filtration and having 2 Oscars in here, it's not bad, but I can't go around telling people like, oh, 1 Oscar and a 75 and then do something like this. It makes me a hypocrite. So you'll see that the water level is almost to the top. Once it hits the rim, it's going to start overflowing into the sump. So my sump right now is maybe an inch short of where I want it to be. So once it starts to overflow, once that gets to where it needs to be, I'll cut the hose off, turn the pump back on. I like to wait 20 to 30 minutes before I plug my heater back in. Most of them have an internal thermostat that you want them to register the new temperature of the tank. So I don't like to turn that on right away. And, I see a lot of reviews of heaters exploding and people giving bad reviews for these heaters. And if you know how they work, if you know how to take care of them, then you're not going to have any issues with it. Happy New Year, Chris. He said so from the UK, fireworks going off. It's amazing around here. Yeah, so if I was to have 2 Oscars in a tank and do a water change every 2 to 6 weeks, it's not going to work out. Especially if I only had like a hang on the back or a sponge filter. But since I'm running the 15, 20-gallon sump, whatever that is, with all the biomedia, I don't know if you guys are aware of my sump, but I have pothos in there. I have bio balls. I have plastic pot scrubbers. I have so much filtration and so much media that this tank is over filtered. And you'll hear it in a second. It hit that rim. It's going to start overflowing. So give me 2 seconds, guys. I got to go shut off the hose. I don't want to mess. So what I'm looking at is you'll notice it'll start to overflow into the sump, drip down, and then I have the level marked off right here where I want it. So I can see that level's rising. So fairly simply, or fairly simple, whatever the proper grammar is, I'm going to kink this hose and stop the flow, and then I'll be right back.
dog's coming.
So Ryan said he doesn't want to start a fight online because he knows that they'll have good filtration. Ryan says, Happy New Year, babe.
Happy New Year.
She says, Happy New Year. I don't know if you heard her. We're not chatting in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the pump back on here. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to turn the camera and start the water change on the 60-gallon community tank. What? We won't know until he's a year or two old.
Do we have baby Oscars?
I don't want my baby Oscars.
Does he have them?
Can we have them?
Like, are they easy to breed?
You gotta pair them when they're young.
Blue Rip's young. Maybe Indy's a cougar or a sugar daddy.
Whatever he is. Okay, so I unplugged my filter, unplugged the heater, so we're gonna go ahead and start the water change here. Are you guys talking about the albinos? Because Ryan, I know you have some albinos. Or is there a difference between the albino and the red bristlenose?
They're talking about the red crescent nose.
Is there a difference though?
They're all big.
Yes, they're all fish.
Are those the ones that you guys bought at that one place?
The ocean floor?
Yeah.
So like I mentioned earlier, 3/4 inch landscaping tubing into my siphon.
And whose idea was that?
Was it yours?
It was mine.
So apparently my wife wants to point out that this was her idea. Now this one's going to be a little bit faster because I don't want to change too much water with the babies in there. Only in color. Okay. And then Ryan said, "My wife likes your planted tank." Thanks, man. You know, this was my experiment tank to start to kind of see how things were going, and it's worked out pretty good. I'm still wanting to really move things around. I just rearranged it, and I've got a Java Fern mat here that I just added. I kind of threw it in there because I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I've got some Cryptocorn spiralis in the top that I need to plant in the substrate. And, you know, I might as well do that while you guys are on camera because I like to do it when the water's low because I've got short arms, so I have to stick my arm all the way down in there. Set up a 90 liter today for breeding peppered cores. There you go, man. Yeah, I'm really surprised how well these cories bred. I didn't expect them to do as good as they have, but they've, you know, I did wake up this morning and had 6 dead ones in there. But as sad as this is, they're eating them. So I don't know how many are really dying because as fast as they're dying, they're actually eating them and they're gone. Because I had planned to take them out of there. And then when I came back to take them out, they were gone. So this is my community tank. I have mollies. So if you see all the little baby fish, these are the mollies that have bred everywhere. And then there are some cory catfish, which are the parents to these babies in here. And then I also have a Siamese algae eater, some coolie loaches, and some Amano shrimp. And I don't know if you could see them in there. I'll get a close up here in a second. I'm just trying to keep an eye on this. How big's a 90 liter? It's 3.87 per gallon. So 90 is like 20 gallons around there, right? 22, something like that. As long as I can math correctly. Now, my only concern with this is I was afraid they were going to get stuck to the net. But looking at it, it looks like they're fine. So they have a little bit more room that they could go down. So I'm probably going to stop it right there. I don't want to do too big of a change here because our tap water outside is cold. And I don't want to stress them out too much. They're only about a week old now. So I'm going to go switch the hose and be right back. Skin peas. All right. So before I fill this back up, hopefully I don't lose connection again. I'm going to plant these plants. So I've got cryptocorn there. I've got some Anubias as well, but I need to get some super glue before I do anything with those. And another cryptocorn. So, just gonna move you guys over. So what do you think? Put one right here in front of the skull. Actually, let's put it behind the other crypt. Come on, reach, Rexy, reach. And this one. No hornwort, it's a Nacarus. So it looks very similar. Hornwort.
Sounds like a very hard plant.
And then I do have this banana plant here, which, Ryan, if you're still in here, can this be planted in the substrate? Or do I just kind of let it float around? I've never had banana plants before. We're going to plant it, see how it goes. If I can grab it. It's got like little banana roots. You're a banana root. It looks like a bunch of bananas. Anchor it, it will grow roots. All right, so I'll have to undig that after I plant it. So I'm going to go turn the hose on. I'll be right back. Come on, don't fall. I'm gonna have to hold this one. So planting a banana plant will make it rot, says Ryan. So I'll have to pull that out.
I don't think she's moved since she's been over here.
Who, Daisy?
Yeah.
So for Christmas, I don't know if you guys can see it. No, you can't. I actually got a new light for this tank. So the light that I had on there was a 36 inch, and this is now a 48. So it's almost 2,000 lumens brighter than what it was before. So I'm excited to see if the plants really take off and if it makes any difference at all. And I didn't buy an expensive planted tank light. I bought I don't want to say cheap, but an inexpensive NICRU light. And of course it's from overseas, slow boat from China. And they've been doing good. You know, I have those on all of my tanks, and my planted shrimp tank is doing good. This tank was doing good. So I figured just a stronger version of the ones I have is going to do even better than what I had on it before. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on New Year's Eve and doing my water changes. I know this isn't the most exciting thing going on, but if you're like me, you know, this day isn't something that I don't want to go out. I don't want to go party. I want to take care of my fish, do their water changes, do what needs to be done. Ryan, did you get the 150 set up yet? How did you move that by yourself? Did you have somebody come over and help you? Yeah, are you cheating on me? You cheating on me with somebody else? Yeah, Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope your day's going good. And what kind of fishy resolutions do you have? Planning on getting more tanks? Planning on getting rid of all your tanks?
Yes.
We're not getting rid of the tanks. We're getting more, a whole room full. What'd you say?
I said maybe once you move.
Yeah, not right now.
Got no more room for me.
96 by 24 by 24 is what I want this year. 96, that's 48 is 4. So you want an 8-foot tank? Oh, I think we looked it up. It was 300 pounds, just glass weight for the 150. Just the glass, no water, no gravel, no sand. That tank by itself, I think it was 390 pounds. Or maybe it was 290. I don't know. It was a lot. Garage conversion for another 30 plus tanks. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. What do you use for your stands for your tanks? Do you just use plywood and cinder blocks? Do you make the stands yourself out of wood? Because I've got 2 tanks right now that I'm looking to set up, and I'm kind of debating on how I want to put them on stands. I was thinking of just simply doing cinder blocks with 2x4s or 2x6s. Oh, did he respond? Is my chat not working? She'll let me know, man. I was off yesterday and today. I'm glad you were able to get it moved, though. That thing was a pain. Nice. So you've got the knowledge to do it yourself, then. He said he was a joiner. Either that or like construction. What does joiner mean? Is that construction?
What is joiner mean? Carpenter is what.
Carpenter. That's what I figured. All right, 2 seconds.
Ryan said the mic. Are you in here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ryan said the mic came over at like 9 last night. They didn't finish till 2 a.m.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't call me. That's too late. I'm well into my like 4th beer by then. That ring light is super bright. That's why you bought it. Carpenter.
You know, we could probably get metal stands made. Andrew has a welder.
Yeah, haircut. Yeah, but the cost of metal is going to be a lot more expensive than just using wood.
Yeah, I guess.
Amber was saying that we can get some metal stands made because we have a welder, and her brother knows how to weld, but the cost of metal would be way more expensive. We can go back to Indy. So babies are doing good. Everybody's doing good. Water's nice and clean. Let's feed the Oscars.
Ryan says he needs a welder.
What does he need welded? What do you need welded, Ryan? Bessie, you can't have shrimp. Shrimp is for fish. Bessie, you're not shrimp. You're not fish.
We need the bird cage welded.
Oh, okay.
Tell him once we move. You should talk to my brother about it.
Okay.
I'm sure you can hear me.
All right. So I threw some shrimp under the hot water to defrost, and then we'll feed the Oscars. Give them some after water change meal. Needs to be clean, non-toxic weld for stainless steel. Yeah, once we move, I'll talk to my brother-in-law and see if that's something that he's able to do. You're not happy with the cinder block method, Chris? What about it don't you like? Because I have my shrimp tank upstairs on just cinder blocks and 2x6s, and on carpet it's worked pretty good. I've had 20-gallon longs on there. I've seen people do up to 90 gallons on that setup. So, and it's cheap. You know, a 2x6 piece of wood is $8 for like a 10-foot piece, and then cinder blocks are $1 a piece. Like it doesn't get better than that. Now, if I was a carpenter and knew how to join wood together safely, then I would. But that I don't trust my abilities. If you could see in our backyard, me and my brother-in-law built a bench, and that thing is janky.
No, that thing is awesome. The only thing janky about it is the paint job. And that's because I let our nieces and nephews paint it.
Yeah, it may be a janky paint job, but if I was to put something on it, like a fish tank, it's not going to be level. It's not going to be straight.
I was going to say, oh, what's that acid?
Yeah, I guess so. We could hold me. Doesn't look safe to you. It's not too bad. They've I question whether or not the boards are even and flat, so that kind of concerns me with putting the tank on boards that are kind of uneven. Maybe a piece of plywood on top of the 2x6s. Yeah, I've seen that video floating around YouTube, Ryan. I definitely want to check it out. It was like 32 minutes long, and every time I come across it, I don't have the time to sit down and watch it. He's a big boy. He is a balloon Oscar. He's definitely short-bodied Oscar, if you want to call it that, which I'm not a fan of, and I hate to admit it. But if you look at Rip compared to him, the body shape it's off. He's funny shaped.
He's beautiful.
He's not beautiful. He's a funky looking fish.
He's beautiful. I don't even like the stupid thing. He's beautiful.
Chris from 23 Aquatic says, I've knocked 4 walls down in my kitchen, so could get 6 aquariums in there. 3 of them are built into the alcove in the wall, and 3 other aquariums are on a metal stand I had made. $500. That's not bad, man. I bet it looks nice. Brian, you shut your mouth. I don't want to hear it, okay? because he kept trying to convince me that Indy is a balloon Oscar, and for the longest time I wouldn't agree with it.
Oh.
All right, so got my shrimp, got it defrosted. So what I like to do is I add extra vitamins and stuff to their food, so that way they're not getting sick, they're not developing whole head, they're able to have all the vitamins and minerals that they need. So if you've seen my vitamin care video and Oscar care videos, you know that I use Sea Chem's Reef Zooplankton, Vitality, and Boyd's Vitachem. So real basic, couple drops of the Boyd's Vitachem, which you want to shake up beforehand. And then you want to do just quarter to half a capful of the zooplankton. And then the Vitality. So this is ascorbic acid. It is vitamin C for them. And Oscars don't produce vitamin C naturally. So you definitely need to supplement this in their diet somehow, whether it's in their pellets, added to their food somehow. However you do it, feed them oranges. So I've got that in there, mixed real good. And then the last thing I like to add, just a little Steel Reserve. No, this is for me.
I was gonna say.
They're underage. He's only 2 years old. He can't have beer. Sadie's like 30 in dog years. So I'm going to let this soak for a few minutes, and then I'm going to give it to him. So if you guys are like me, while you're streaming, or not streaming, while you're watching somebody stream, you're doing other things. What are you guys up to right now? And Chris, back to your alcove with your tanks and stuff. I want to see a video of that. I want to see some pictures, something. You got to show me. That sounds awesome. And I will say that earlier today I bought baby brine shrimp for the baby Corys. And I put that in there, and it kind of just fell straight through the breeder net. So not a lot of it stayed in there. The other fish loved it. They were all eating it everywhere. So I took regular brine shrimp and put it in there. And there was probably 30 brine shrimp in the bottom of that breeder net. Within an hour, it was all gone. So they were able to eat full-size brine shrimp with being a week old. And I kind of figured that would be the case because, like I said, this morning I woke up and there was a few dead ones in there, and they were kind of picking at them. And when I came back, they were gone. So I figured if they could eat a dead fish the same size as them, that they could eat a brine shrimp. And I know that's awful to say, and I should have taken them out, but it's a process to try to get those little tiny fish out of there. I got to siphon them out and get airline tubing, and so it was on my list of things to do today. But Apparently the baby Corgis had cleaned it up for me before I got to it. Watching 500 Corgi babies. So I know you had posted a video saying that you had 1,000 Corgi eggs. Did most of them hatch? Well, I assume so if you're watching 500 baby Corgis.
Shut up.
All hatched. That's awesome, man. So out of those 500, how many do you expect to live? No, go. You don't need to bark at the neighbors. Go lay down.
They definitely do need Parkinson.
That's crazy, man. What's your success rate as far as the fry living? Do most of them live? I can't imagine having that many. You don't need to bark. Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that. We've got Inception. So Indy gets his first. And he's distracted by the computer. Want this? I was wondering if he was going to eat during a water change. Rip will. Rip's a little piggy. Oh, he's going to go get it. You can't have a whole shrimp, Rip. So for Rip, we're just going to break a little piece off. Here, bud. Come here. See how fast he is? He doesn't want it. He's camera shy. You know, he's so smart, he can probably see the reflection in the computer. Because whenever I have my tripod or light or anything close to him, he doesn't want to do anything. He's too curious about what's going on. See if I move it back if he'll eat it. India's smart. Daisy's smart too. He's being camera shy. They're going to be so full of it. So that just goes to show how moody Oscars can be is, with me having the light, having the computer sitting here, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, this is not normal. When Dad feeds me shrimp, it's just him and me. And so Chris just sent me a picture with his setup. Oh my gosh, dude. Do you care if I show the pictures on here? There's so many fry. So it looks like you have them in a mason jar. At what point do you separate them out or add some type of filtration or how do you care for them in that small amount of water? And if you don't already, go ahead and follow me on Facebook as well. It's under Indie Fish, Instagram, Poseidon's Pets. I also have a Facebook group, Poseidon's Pets Community, but I also have a Poseidon's Pets Facebook page that you can like and follow. I post the same things on my Indie Fish profile as I do on the Poseidon's Pets. So if you want to contact me outside of YouTube, you can reach me there. See if this shows up. This is 23 Aquatics. This is Chris's little alcove he has for all his tanks.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then, see if you can see that. His thousands of fry. Looks like in a mason jar.
Yeah.
One of the stands he has going on.
They look like sesame seeds.
They look like sesame seeds. And then a side view of the alcove. That's awesome though, man. It looks good. It's aspirations. 2019 or 2020. 2019's gone. Looks like you got some angelfish. When they're eating, I release them into the aquarium. Okay, so after they absorb their egg sac, you just let them go? That's awesome though, man. Thanks for sharing.
I'm giving my husband more ways to turn my house into a liquid zoo.
I love that term, liquid zoo. So I don't know if you've heard of aquariums being referred to as liquid zoos, but from now on, any aquarium you go to, it's a liquid zoo. Andy's still hiding. Are you gonna come out or are you camera shy? He's the weirdest fish.
Not got my hair done.
What?
He's like, I haven't got my hair done.
It's like, I need to prep my fins. My fins aren't ready for the camera.
And Hunter went you.
What?
Oh, Mr. Doubtfire.
Well, I haven't got my face on, dearie. Hello. You definitely have a liquid zoo. You have a regular zoo, Ryan. You have a liquid zoo and a regular zoo. Oh, he's coming back around. Let's see if we can get him to eat.
Look ready for my close-up.
Yeah, turn your nose up to shrimp. If you look at his belly, he's not even hungry. Like, he's been eating so good because I've had to feed Rip twice a day. So when they were separated, I would just feed Rip, and Indy would get his once a day feeding, and every couple days I would fast him. But now that they're together, I've been feeding them every day, and Indy's probably not even hungry. Like, I can see him, he's looking at it like, I want the shrimp, but I can't eat anymore. I've had too much food. So I'll probably have to take that out of there. All right, guys. Well, I am all done with my tank maintenance. As much fun as I have had with you, I'm going to go ahead and call this an end to the stream. So thank you so much for watching. I definitely enjoyed it. I had a good time talking to you all. And thanks for the support. And if you're watching this after I streamed it, thank you so much for jumping in and seeing it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Happy New Year's Eve. And hopefully all your aspirations and all your resolutions come true. All your fish's bellies are full, all that good stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.
If you don't say I'll see you next year.
I'll see you guys next year. Yeah, I'll see you next year. And I don't know how to end the stream, so we'll figure this out. Oh, hey, look, there's a button here. It says end stream. So thank you so much for watching my first live stream. This definitely went better than I thought it would. I didn't think anybody was going to watch. I thought I was going to be talking to myself. So thank you all for coming in and keeping me entertained while I did water changes. So happy New Year, and I'll see you next year.